Glemmy, one of Haman's men, decided to turn against her. We wound up chasing Haman back to Side 3. Now we're all worn out, but...
The enemy isn't moving.
Why aren't they attacking?
Maybe they're waiting for us to move.
They're waiting for me. Haman's following our lead and waiting.
Really?
Look, I don't want to see any more bloodshed. I'll go settle things with Haman. I know she's ready to settle them with me.
I'm coming with you. We still have the Hyakushiki, right?
No way! We can't afford to send out the Hyakushiki too.
But...
Vita, you're in charge now.
Shangri-La forever, baby!
You know it!
The only thing we can do now is make sure Judo has somewhere to come back to.
I can't tell what Haman's up to. Watch yourself out there, Judo.
I will. Judo Ashita, heading out! Docking to form Double Zeta! This is Judo Ashita, Double Zeta, launching!
Ah, Judo, you're here.
You! Gotcha! Take this! Down!
You're getting annoying.
A black Cubalay?
It's the ghost of Burning Totem.
Die, scum! I make a cannon ready!
Don't you see? We're the same species, you and I.
Take this! You're... Die, scum! My enemy! I make a cannon ready!
So I hope you're ready for some bombs. First of all, the entire mission is just 4 successive fights against...
He's gone into the center of the asteroid! Wait! Come on!
Against Haman. With a few smatterings of enemies in between. And there's nothing else to worry about besides just getting from place to place and fighting her. Strategy and variety need not apply here. And another bomb... This is the final mission of Judo's story, and yes, it is only the second one. After this battle, Judo's story is over, and so is the original Gundam trilogy. That's it for official mode, unless you feel like replaying all of the missions, but as different characters. Which I do not. There is a bright side to this depressing finale, however, and it's that we get to play with the Double Zeta Gundam, which is insanely powerful. There's even a downside to this, though, because we're fighting Haman, and even though her first 2 battles aren't that tough, she does get progressively harder each time you fight her, and she's way faster than the Double Zeta Gundam, by a wide margin.
Judo, do you have any idea why it is that I called you here?
Yeah, because you're the sentimental type, right?
Huh, very funny. This is the Zeon homeland. It also happens to be where we first met. And it will be your grave!
The strategy when fighting Haman with the Double Zeta Gundam is do not rely on your speed at all, because she is faster than you in every way, and that will not work out. Just be as patient as possible. And block a lot. Now this may not sound like anything new, because the last battles with Haman were pretty much the same, right? We just needed to be patient and attack when we were sure we had an opening. But with the Double Zeta, this is way more true than it ever has been before. I really cannot stress how hopeless it feels fighting the Cubalay with the Double Zeta Gundam. If you recall, way back when we first fought Haman with Camille, I said that your health was going to end up in the red no matter what. Now, the first 3 fights against Haman in the end of Judo's story right here they're intentionally nerfed so that way the final fight can be the hardest. But the final fight against Haman is just as difficult as it was when we fought her as Camille. Except Camille was in a very fast Gundam, and we're not. This is so bad that the final fight against Haman in this level by itself makes it the hardest mission in the game aside from the final level of Camille's story. And the final level of Camille's story is very difficult, yes, but the thing I loved about that level was that you could beat it by playing really, really well. And it showed off how tactics and, combat prowess made all the difference. But in this scenario, you have two options. You can either leave the level to play as the Double Zeta Gundam elsewhere and grind a whole lot, or you can be as patient as physically possible, and just run around Haman in a circle until your special meter fills up, and then hit her in the ass with it. I chose to do the latter, because you can beat the entire rest of this game on your first try by playing well enough.
Beaten by a child!
Come on, you're trapped.
If you're as stubborn as me, you can just keep replaying this level over and over and over without doing any traditional grinding, and eventually you'll level up so many times from fighting Haman that you'll become strong enough to defeat her. It's the Musou Gundam equivalent of Zenkai spamming.
Mosa has collided with Core 3?
The situation's totally changed. Where is Haman?
We're going to see a lot of item boxes just floating around in space and sometimes inside the core itself, and we're going to leave those alone until the final battle with Haman to greatly increase our chances of success. And that's really the only advice I can offer you besides go play another mode and grind with the Double Zeta Gundam. Level 5 or 6 should do it. And I do understand that they had to use the Double Zeta Gundam for this scenario because that's what it was in the story, and it wouldn't make any sense otherwise. But when you consider that the entire rest of Official Mode manages to both be carefully designed and faithful, you wonder why they couldn't do it here as well. Or at least, I wonder that. I mean, Double Zeta Gundam as a series is far more difficult to work with than Zeta Gundam or the original Gundam. So I don't want to make it sound like they didn't try at all. They must have had a problem, though, because otherwise this level wouldn't be this way. But that's enough of that. This is the final level, so let's talk about all the good things that Gundam Dynasty Warriors does. Firstly, there's the fact that all of the Gundams have a different moveset and control differently enough to require different approaches. It's kind of awesome, because none of them really feel copy-pasted, which is important in a game like this. I like that there's separate leveling for both the pilot and Gundam. I like that leveling up the Gundam and the pilot enables you to get new attacks to use. I like that Official Mode is designed entirely differently from Original Mode. And that Official Mode actually requires strategy and has competent AI that you can rely on when you're in a pinch. And it feels like there are actual people there fighting with you instead of just, computers.
Come on, are you here? Gotcha!
And the extra focus on tactics and the good enemy AI makes a sense of camaraderie a lot easier to form. So you actually feel tension when your allies are in danger, and you actually want to do the extra things like save Emma. This point is probably 3 times as powerful if you're familiar with Gundam, because it does a good job of actually putting you inside these situations and making you feel important. That's pretty damn impressive for a game that only used bits and pieces of the Gundam storyline.
Your life is mine!
There's also all the nuances to the combat they added just for Gundam. Like the fact that some attacks are more likely to stun enemies than others, or the power dash mechanic. There is an immense attention to careful detail that is not usually associated with Dynasty Warriors, and that is for shame. Because I believe this game is a perfect example of how well-crafted Omega Factor's design can be.
Gotcha!
I'll stop you myself!
Go to hell! I'm Omega Cannon, ready! Take this!
Judo,
Gotcha.
come with me.
You make me sick. You're on your own.
You'll notice that even though this is difficult, this fight with Haman is perfectly doable, and if they had left the difficulty at this, then this level would be a lot easier and even way more appreciable. And for as much as I've complained about this level, it does foster a great sense of atmosphere, if nothing else.
Enjoy it while you can.
I also absolutely adore the voice actor they got for Judo, and I'm not sure why, but his voice is just so good.
I'm Mega Cannon, ready!
What is this power?
Enough with the damn games! I'm gonna take you down, Haman.
There's one last battle with Haman ahead of us, but we need to defeat the Neo-Zeon forces before she'll appear. Fortunately, that's not too difficult. But after this last battle with Haman, that's it for official mode, because as I said, I'm not replaying the same levels with different characters. And as I promised, there will be a quick look at original mode. Because although the story is incredibly adorable and well crafted, the design leaves a lot to be desired. Because they simply had so many levels to work on, it's not nearly as carefully designed as official mode is.
Sorry, but you lose.
But I hope you guys had as much fun watching this game as I did playing it, which is a lot of fun, in case you couldn't tell by my excited rant back there. This game is a blast, and if it looks fun, play it for yourself, or play Dynasty Warriors 2 or 3. Or any licensed game that Koei has ever made, because they're all fantastic.
I'm Mega Cannon, ready! Gotcha! It's over, Haman! You got nowhere to stand now!
You're too smart for your own good, boy.
You of all people should be able to see it. The souls of those who threw their lives away on the battlefield.
You're born alone and dying. That is the nature of humanity. Do you really think that everyone can become new types? Humanity will destroy the world before that will happen.
Don't you have faith in anybody? Hate creates more hate. Don't you get it? You idiot! Gotcha! 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 This ends now! Gotcha! Ready!
You're mine! I hoped for a tie, but you won.
Wonderful! Why didn't you just concede earlier? You could have helped save the Earth!
Yes, that's right, Judo. But thanks to you children, I couldn't destroy all the fools who insist on clinging to Earth.
Come on!
I'm glad I came back and got to meet you.
UC 0089. Judo settles things with Haman. The young generation of new types began their own individual journeys.